Stalkers are a terror to many and are an unexpected threat that can be close to home. You'd never expect someone to be following you home after going shopping, or to be following you around the store while you shop. Stalkers, however, are very real and oftentimes are found in places and at times you'd never expect. From stalkers being caught inside the homes of their victims,
please get out,
to simply following people around stores and sniffing them, we cover some of the creepiest stalkers in this video. Our experts have scoured the internet, searching for the most chilling and spine-chilling stories of stalkers caught on camera. These stalkers come in many shapes and sizes, but the one thing they have in common is the fact that they slipped up and ended up being caught on camera.
Who is that? Get out of here!
Now let's dive in and explore the chilling world of the creepiest stalkers caught on camera. William Nolan. In our first case of stalking caught on camera, let's travel to a Birmingham suburb and the home of Debbie Waring-Jones. Mrs. Waring-Jones was horrified when she discovered that a neighbor, William Nolan, had been secretly planting voice recorders in her home. After discovering the devices, she set up cameras to capture Nolan in the act of retrieving the spyware and captured him in the act. The resulting footage was truly startling. Nolan frantically looked around her home, trying to check and secure the devices that he had planted. Nola, a former security guard, eventually admitted to the crime of stalking and was sentenced to a 15-week prison sentence in May 2021. He and his wife were next-door neighbors of Debbie, who had entrusted them with a key to her house to feed her cats while she was away. However, the trust was severely breached and the judge declared that this was one of the most serious stalking offenses that he had seen. While Nolan initially claimed he had simply been looking for her cats, the footage she had captured was simply too compelling for the court to ignore. Elon Musk.
Yeah, pretty sure. Gotcha.
What's your name?
While Elon Musk may be the source of much controversy, he himself isn't a stalker. Instead, he recently shared a video that showed a crazy stalker following his son, believing it to be Musk himself. The 11-second clip featured a hooded man in a black mask that completely covered his face, sitting in a white Hyundai Elantra. Musk then detailed the alarming tale, explaining that the driver of the stalker's car blocked the vehicle his son was in and then jumped onto the hood. Thankfully, both Musk and his son were unharmed. What was even more chilling was the fact that even when confronted, the alleged stalker seemingly didn't care in the least. Musk went on to ask anyone for details about the individual so he could press charges, wanting to ensure that the same incident wouldn't happen to anyone else. While Elon Musk might be extremely controversial, nobody would wish a chilling case of stalking like this on even their worst enemy. But how did the stalker find him? According to Musk, one individual had leaked his flight plans a while back, which could have been how the stalker managed to find the location of his son and follow the car until he attempted to break in. And while the stalker was initially going after Musk, who knows what he might have been willing to do to his son if given the chance. Night Stalker.
The mystery man is believed to be in his 30s, seemingly undeterred by security cameras.
Our next case takes place in Geelong, Australia, where a night stalker was caught on Ring doorbells attempting to break into several family homes. The footage captured the stalker wearing an Adidas hoodie and tracksuit pants, a wide brim hat, a face mask, and gloves. Witnesses reported the stalker snooping around their homes, seeming to be searching for keys left under the doormat. Currently, Victoria Police are actively investigating the case, as it is considered a serious crime to invade the private property of another person. It is unknown if the night stalker was ever apprehended, but citizens of Geelong are remaining vigilant and have been warned to keep their homes and possessions safe at all times. One such victim of this stalker described him as chillingly nonchalant, almost as if he had done this many times in his life and knew what he was doing. The clear intentions of this night stalker remain unknown, but it's clear that whatever he had in mind wasn't legal. What this unknown man would have done had he gained entrance to someone's home is a horrifying thought. Peter Hills. It's always frightening when a stalker shows up at your home, but what if they followed you through the city first? That's exactly what happened to a 19-year-old woman in Plymouth. CCTV footage caught Peter Hills, a creepy man who can best be described as a serial stalker, tracking the victim all over the city. Hills was seen on CCTV hopping around the area, at one point even pushing people out of the way to keep up with the young woman. He eventually grabbed her and threatened to kill her, but luckily for the woman, he didn't do anything worse than that. Still, CCTV footage from all across the city shows him hunting her through the area, an act of stalking that certainly qualifies as one of the creepiest ever caught on camera. He followed her along the city center and toward her house, all the while making sure to keep her right where he could see her. His intentions were undoubtedly evil, and she was just lucky that she managed to escape him and that so many cameras picked up his absolutely disgusting behavior. Model Stalker.
That he was coming to my window minutes after I got home, so he knew my schedule somehow, or he knew where I was coming from.
What happens when a stalker gets exposed on TikTok? A TikTok model named Gusta reported in June that last year she believed she caught her alleged stalker lurking outside her bedroom window. She was able to capture footage of the man walking up to the window with the help of an outside Ring camera that her mother had her install. She has since moved but still suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder after the incident. After posting the footage and talking about it on TikTok, the post quickly gained popularity, garnering more than 1 million views. While the stalker was never identified or captured, the entire ordeal was very chilling to her TikTok audience, which was quick to comment on the situation. Although some people believe the footage, which shows a man peering in through a window, was faked as a prank, it still shows just how important it is to have extra security measures in your home, especially when living alone. "Woke up to police at my door because my mom caught someone stalking me last night," said the model, explaining what had happened and how horrified she was. Doorbell Stalker.
Who's that? Who is that? Get out of here!
One woman's doorbell camera turned into a potentially life-saving device when it captured her narrowly escaping a creepy stranger who followed her home. TikTok user Jojo Ramirez shared the terrifying clip, which showed her and a young child walking up to the house, unaware that the stranger was lurking behind them. Moments later, the man was at her doorstep, attempting to get into the house, only thankfully he was unable to get through the locked door. In the clip, the woman can be heard yelling at him to "Get out of here!"
Who is that? Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a guy outside, look!
Which he eventually did. However, she wisely called the police to report him. Ramirez shared the clip as a message to others to be vigilant, as the same could have happened to anyone. While she narrowly managed to escape, she pointed out that others might not have been so lucky, urging people to be aware of their surroundings. If she had simply forgotten to lock the door, the creepy man in the video would have gained access to her house. Had that been the case, the footage from the doorbell might have been used in a true crime series instead. Bookstore Stalker.
What are you doing?
Now let's travel to Burbank, where a bookstore customer found themselves being followed by a man named Kalize Crowder. After reportedly feeling uncomfortable at a Barnes & Noble, the customer, Michaela Witter, began to record the alleged stalker in action. The footage captured the moment when the man crouched down near Witter's legs and began to smell her. After Witter asked the man what he was doing, he told her he was tying his shoes, and she began to videotape him in case he was planning to do something. Unfortunately for him, the police had already been made aware of the situation, and Crowder was subsequently arrested and charged with stalking and invasion of privacy. Crowder had a long history of peeping, prowling, and residential burglaries prior to the incident, and it is believed there may be other victims. It is an alarming reminder that even in heavily trafficked public places, stalkers can still exist. A bookstore is the last place you'd expect a stalker to be, but Kalize Crowder apparently had a long history of frequenting this store as one of the areas where he would stalk customers. Incel Stalker.
So I chased her a little bit just because, I don't know, women are crazy. Like, I felt like she wanted me to chase her.
Do you not think chasing somebody's crazy?
So I chased her a little bit, just cause women are crazy. Like I felt like she wanted me chasing her. Those were the words spoken to police officers when the mysterious man was confronted after chasing his female colleague down the street in Lenoir City, Tennessee. The man had admitted to the police that he had visited the Cracker Barrel restaurant where he worked in order to play a romantic song for the female co-worker he had feelings for. When she refused, the man became enraged and chased her for a few blocks, thinking that this was what women wanted and enjoyed, as he stated that he wasn't forcing her or anything, just trying to play a song for her. While his co-worker was clearly very frightened and contacted the police, the man himself didn't pursue her after the few blocks he chased her. And while that was much better than the alternative, it didn't sit right with the police station, and they were quick to act, warning that if a stalking victim is in immediate danger, they should call 911. While the man wasn't arrested, it was still no doubt a horrifying situation for the poor woman he had begun to stalk. TikTok store stalker.
And Napa contacted police the next day. The video has since gone viral.
Some stalkers get caught on camera and then get away with it, but others are caught red-handed and then promptly arrested. Such was the case with Mary Beth Napa and her 9-year-old daughter, who were both shopping at a Walmart in Cicero, New York a while back. While there, Napa noticed a tank top-wearing man with dark hair, who was later identified as Eric Fuller, seemingly following them around the store. Fearing for her and her daughter's safety, Napa pulled out her own phone and started filming the man, resulting in her now viral TikTok video. The footage she had captured was so convincing that police tracked Fuller down and arrested him. He has since been charged with 4th-degree stalking and has a scheduled court date where he's going to have to appear. So this guy is like following me in Walmart while I'm with my daughter, Napa said in the clip. He keeps following me. I don't know him and he's recording me. In the end, however, her stalker ended up getting served a healthy dose of karma. Uber stalker.
Saying that tipped him off, and he just started to cause a scene in front of everyone at the lobby. I submitted a report to Uber and I never heard from that driver again.
Stalkers don't always happen when you're rich, famous, or in a generally high-risk situation. In fact, one Uber driver managed to terrify a rider when he started messaging her and eventually showed up outside of her building after the trip. The woman got picked up in her Uber but was already starting to feel uneasy as her friendly driver kept trying to make small talk. Despite her suspicions, she made it home safely, but shortly thereafter she started receiving text messages from her driver. The messages, which quickly became uncomfortable, went on for days. He even asked her out for coffee a few times. Eventually, the woman responded to her driver, telling him that she wasn't interested and trying to shut him down. Eventually, the Uber driver showed up at her building on the same night that she sent him the ardent "no thanks" message. Thankfully, the woman was safe, but it just goes to show you how quickly a situation can turn from a seemingly harmless ride to a full-on stalker hassling. At one point, the driver even went downstairs to the lobby of her building, looking for her and asking about her. Be sure to keep your wits about you during a ride, no matter who it's with. With stalkers around every corner, who knows if you're going to run into one or not? Queensland Stalker.
Can you see me? Hey, missus.
One woman was terrified when she spotted a man strolling onto her property and peering into her windows on 2 separate occasions. The footage from her CCTV cameras captures the stalker, who was wearing a baseball cap, skulking around her home and staring hard in her direction. The woman was understandably terrified and contacted the police, who have since investigated and released the footage to the public. The footage is being used in an attempt to identify the suspect and bring him to justice for his actions. The stalking of this woman is a chilling reminder of how quickly a stranger can invade the privacy of an unsuspecting victim. The stalker himself was spotted on 2 separate occasions, meaning he was consistently stalking her and might have even been watching her for weeks before he gained the confidence to walk in front of her CCTV cameras. Later on in the footage, the man can be seen squatting in the driveway of the woman's home before climbing over a small hedge to look through another window. If that isn't enough to keep you up at night, what is? Dance Stalker.
Off. Who are you? Who are you? Please get off. Please get out. No, please get out.
Hannah Viverette loved to post TikTok videos of herself dancing, but little did she know that one of these videos would become famous for entirely different reasons. Brushing her hair and warming up her choreography, Hannah is interrupted by a sudden uninvited guest, a strange man who calmly walks into her Maryland home with a creepy smile on his face. Angel Moises Rodriguez Gomez had walked through her open balcony doors, and as Hannah later said in an interview, he was smiling and muttering. Terrified, Hannah shouted at the man, pleading for him to leave before retreating towards her front door. Her footage was absolutely chilling, and the man was later arrested by Hagerstown police. He was later charged with 2 counts of burglary, 2nd-degree assault, stalking, and malicious destruction of property. Apparently, he was her next-door neighbor, but that doesn't make his bizarre actions any more okay. In the video, he can be heard asking the TikToker, "Are you my friend?" And it's enough to send shivers down your back. This is why it's always important to be aware of your safety, and if you do have a face-to-face encounter with a stalker, remain calm and try to record the incident as much as you can. Just make sure to run while you do. Ex-stalker.
They're in here right now.
What? Who's they?
The person that's been coming in here.
"I've been so paranoid, so jumpy. Every morning, every night, I would be certain I'm being watched," said Bethany Eagle, the 39-year-old who was stalked by her former boyfriend for nearly 4 months. After several attempts to cut off contact, Eagle received a chilling image from her former boyfriend, a long-distance photo of her taken while she was running at a cliff at Watergate Bay in Cornwall. The cryptic caption accompanying the photo stated, "That is you, BTW," an obvious taunt from her stalker. Eagle eventually managed to gather enough evidence to take her case to court, where her ex-boyfriend David Malone, 50, pled guilty to the crime of stalking. Malone was given a restraining order to stay away from Eagle and ordered to not contact her ever again. Despite the legal victory, Eagle still lives in fear that her ex may try something even more drastic. Allegedly, he kept her within his grips for months, not allowing her to even control the music in the car they shared during the duration of their relationship. Thankfully, the charges levied have kept him away, for now. Attic Crawler. Most of the time, a homeowner will install a security camera in a normal place, like near your front door or a window. In the case of Jerome Kennedy, however, the homeowner put his security camera in an attic, and the resulting footage of his neighbor, Robert Havrilla, entering the attic was one of the creepiest encounters caught on camera. Kennedy installed the camera after hearing suspicious noises in the attic late one night. 2 days later, he had footage of his next-door neighbor crawling into the attic carrying a drill. It was clear he had crossed a boundary, and the judge in Havrilla's preliminary hearing charged him with burglary, criminal trespassing, and stalking. This video is a chilling reminder of the lengths some stalkers can go to, though according to the attorney of Havrilla, he has no prior criminal record, and there are some things that haven't been said that will clear up everything eventually. Still, to the vast majority of people, this just seemed like a clear-cut and creepy case of stalking. Doppelganger Stalker.
See another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide.
Many stalkers captured a creepy, but this one takes it to the next level. One photo from Google Maps Street View captures a tall, somewhat gangly man walking down the street with a cane. This isn't weird in itself, but what's really strange is that the same exact man appears to be walking behind him, or at least someone dressed exactly like him. Even stranger, the man in front appears to be completely unaware of the doppelganger behind him, as if he didn't notice or doesn't care. This has many people pondering if the person behind is actually the same man in similar clothes, or if this is a case of a doppelganger. What makes this even more mysterious is the fact that the face of the doppelganger is blurred out and no one has come forward to claim it as them. It's an even creepier detail that adds an extra layer of mystery to the situation. While it's possible that Google just glitched and somehow edited two of the same man into the photo, we don't know for certain. Either way, this photo has plenty of people concerned and worried about the potential of a doppelganger stalker on the loose.